never had apple butter until I went to US, and I was like, "This is so good."
If you had that apple butter from the winery, the Apple House or whatever the place is in Gatlinburg.
Oh, that's a dope ass chrysalid.
It is a chrysalid.
A chrysalid.
This is the fucker that broke my $1,000 statue back.
What do you mean?
It fell off of something, and the statue, the Rick Grimes statue that has the blood coming out of the back of the zombie's head, it hit it and broke the blood off the back. So I'm gonna have to glue it so no one can ever see it and then sell it. Fuck them.
Shame.
I'm not gonna tell them. But perfect condition.
We're being recorded. If he looks it up, seller Sasquatch Nugget.
No.
And by that point, Google will archive all of our words, so there'll be transcripts.
We already do.
So, did you guys see that Joe Rogan thing where they AI copied his voice?
Oh, that's creepy. I don't want to even see it.
Oh, it was super.
And they made him
creepy.
say other like weird stuff.
They made it, that he was gonna make an NHL team made out of chimps because chimps are fucking monsters and they'll destroy any humans in sports. He's been saying it for years. And then a whole bunch of other crazy shit. And it sounded just like him.
Wow.
Did you guys hear about our local Channel 18 news guy, Lee Cruz, what he said about chimps?
No.
He said that's what the royal baby was.
I did hear about that.
Damn.
Yeah, he's off work for about a week, I think. Well, he retweeted. It was a tweet somebody else did. He read it on live news and laughed about it, about how the royal baby was a chimp because I guess where they're mixed, it's a mixed baby.
Oh god.
I think the original the dude who originally said it though over in the UK, he was a UK newscaster, supposedly didn't mean anything like that by it. It was like it. I don't know.
He even had a picture, right?
In clothes or something like that.
Yeah.
Tried real hard, reached real hard.
He redid it, and they suspended him for a week. He apologized on live news, and then they sent out a thing that he was going to be off for right now, at the minimum, a week.
Shamey.
Shame.
Give him a bell and let him run naked through the town.
I remember
Shame.
you guys know Shepard Scott, I think. He used to be on Fox News. He was talking about Jennifer Lopez one time, and he blundered through a headline he was reading. It was like, J-Lo back in town, and, you know, here's why this Brooklyn town is more likely to give J-Lo a blowjob instead of a block party. I mean, and he just, like, re-swallowed what he said real fast, and was, next thing you know, he's like, I'm sorry, yeah, he swallowed it all.
Swallowed it all.
And he, came back, next thing you know, he's like, I'm sorry for that. I don't know how that happened, but it won't happen again.
A mental breakdown.
Like I was thinking of J-Lo and blow, and
you know, things happen.
Yeah. So, all right. Are we ready, guys? I'm totally not ready. Like I don't feel like I have any idea what we're doing tonight, but
me either.
Yay!
But I'm ready.
God discussion. Go.
A God discussion.
Got.
Oh, goat.
Okay. 5, 4, 3.
Hello, you nerds, and welcome to episode 32 of the SideQuest Gaming Podcast, a weekly podcast where 4 longtime friends sit around and talk about video games, TV, movies, and whatever the hell else we feel like talking about along the way. I am your host, Westman. You can call me Wes. To my left, we have the lovely bearded Terry.
Hi.
Above him, we have the hooded Jedi, Zach.
Hello.
And above me, as always, the resident German, Pascal.
Hello.
Hello. How's everybody doing tonight, guys?
Yeah, you know,
Horribly.
In there.
You know, everybody's super pumped. That's good.
We had a bit of a vacation, but only one of us got to go on a real vacation,
Yeah, Zach, what happened?
What?
Yeah, I was on a real vacation. I was at Clearwater Beach, Florida. It was amazing.
Nice.
Swam in the ocean, saw dolphins, all that fun stuff. Warm.
Did you get sunburned?
Hell yeah. I got color and I got sunburned and my skin is peeling and my legs are so itchy because they're red.
Damn.
Like, yeah, they're pretty good, but it was awesome. Food was awesome. I didn't really look at my phone a lot. Like this time I tried to like not take a lot of pictures because I was like, you know what? My girlfriend made a point, like a lot of people always go on vacation and, you know, they kind of like just all they do is take pictures, but they're not there. They don't enjoy it. So I just tried to enjoy it and it was amazing. Like probably one of the best vacations I had, just relaxing on the beach and swimming and good food. It's awesome.
Nice. Awesome.
What was
Cocktails
your
every day.
favorite food?
Probably king crab. The crab legs, the king crab, fresh
Do you have like
caught.
a little hammer here?
Yeah, like a like pliers or
A
something. Like
nutcracker?
where you like, you know, crack them with, but they were so fresh you could just like break them with your fingers and peel the fresh flesh out. It was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, you're way stronger than a crab leg.
Hey, they're strong, okay. But I did have like a cool drink, like I think it was kind of like a lady drink, but it was like rum with passion fruit mango and served in a pineapple. Shit was so good. I got like 2 or 3 of them. It was awesome.
Sweet.
No, it was good.
Sweet. We got a little bit of news for you guys tonight. Not really that much going on, but we are going to be doing a lot of talking about Game of Thrones. We're going to talk about Avengers Endgame. And before we do that, we got to play a game of catch up, which is where we tell you guys what the hell we've been up to for the last 3 weeks now, which for me isn't a whole lot. But as always, we're going to start it with the resident German. Pascal, take it away. What you been up to, man? Catch us up.
Well, you already heard it.
Vacation.
Florida. Vacation, so not a lot of gaming. But when I came back, I did play a lot. Like, I don't even know how to start it. I just saw on sale like a Royal Edition upgrade for a game that I already owned. Royal Edition is kind of like the season pass and all this kind of fun stuff. Anyhow, I started downloading Final Fantasy 15. I beat it with like 50 hours already, and they added like New Game Plus and all this stuff and new quests and I don't know, a lot of content down the line. So it was for me worthwhile playing it again. And I haven't played it on the Xbox One X yet on the 4K TV, which they also got enhanced stuff for that. Like they got a big patch for that. So I did the New Game Plus, and it even counts the hours. I'm right now at 70 hours, so I put 20 more hours in that game, and it just, I don't know, man, this game is just so good. Like, it's like a good RPG. I love it. Like, it's straight to the core of fighting and doing side quests here and there, but hunting. But the way they did it, the story, the acting, the voice acting is just top-notch quality.
What's the story?
I have to summarize it really quick because I don't remember a lot of the parts since it's been like, you know, a little bit since I finished it. But it's you are a prince of a king, and demons came over the land and killed your father, the king. And you try to you know, go back to the city and like kind of like figure out what's going on. And on this journey on figuring out what's going on, you meet like, you know, the evil main villain who is good but also bad. And it's like really like everything is interconnected. Like even the DLC was like a prequel to what happened, so you need to probably play that first to kind of understand more what's going on. But it's a lot of like, it's almost like Game of Thrones. There's like a storyline that is like, okay, this is happened this way because it was a prophecy that's gonna happen now. You know, it's hard to explain, but basically, you're the prince. You try to get married for peace, and everything just falls, you know, apart. Like the marriage, there's problems with that. You know, to retain the peace, there's Imperials who try to take over the city, killed your king. There's demons, and everything just goes to town. And you're like on a story with you know, on the journey to figure out what's going on with 3 of the King's Guard people that are now your guard. So, kind of like cliche Final Fantasy story, but really good. Like the random stuff, how they interact with each other on car rides and stuff, and graphics are amazing. The whole gameplay itself is just so nice. And Final Fantasy, I don't know if you're familiar with the franchise, but they have big gods called Bestia. Those are giant, like Odin. all like from mythology kind of inspired giants that you can summon. And in Final Fantasy, you summon them when you are in danger. The main character, Noctis, is who you play. If he's in danger and low on health, you get a bar once you're unlocked and went through one of the trials, and it says press left trigger to summon. And all this is like crazy, like the cinematics, and they basically have this one attack. It's basically an ultra attack, like the last stand kind of attack, and it's like a god smiting. In my case, Odin came and he smited down the whole enemy, like all the Imperial soldiers that tried to attack me. But how they do it and how randomly it happens, and if you want to summon it or not, it's just how they put that in scene is pretty epic. Like the whole ground is shackled. There was like lightning strikes and scorched earth and stuff. It was pretty cool. So yeah, so Final Fantasy.
Is there some cost to summoning that?
In Final Fantasy 15, there is not. In the older Final Fantasies, you had to had a specific type of adrenaline kind of bar or something, and you could only summon them during certain times and stuff. And some boss fights you couldn't, but here it's kind of like, you know, just like random when you're in danger situations. So there's no really. The only thing is it's the one thing is that there's the only benefits. There's not really a drawback to it, I think.
Okay.
But it doesn't make the game easier because it's not a guaranteed thing. Sometimes you die, like it happens. And Final Fantasy is very forgiving. Like you better save a lot. Even though I think they added something. If you play on normal and easy mode, I think, which I do, when your character goes at 0 health, the game kind of stops and you can equip like a potion, like a high potion or something to get yourself back on health. And they haven't done that before, because I remember I died a lot in the first run through, or maybe it's just a new game plus thing, I don't know. But definitely, I don't know, it's awesome. I love it. I don't want to go into too much detail because I'm probably the wrong person to go about it, to give you like the best scoop. But I'm 70 hours in, so 20 added to my 50. It just keeps on adding it, and I don't know, it's just awesome. Like they added a lot of stuff for New Game Plus too, so like I still have skills to level up. It's just like I haven't even seen like how it is to have a maxed out character, and it's very in detail too. How you build your character around certain weapons and stuff, or if you want to go mage only stuff, you know, it's like it's really complex. It's like very easy to get to learn, but it's really hard to master, basically. So I like that.
That's one of the things I heard is it's easy to pick up, but hard to master.
Yeah. So that's what I've been doing. Planning on playing a little bit more. Did play a little bit NBA. I still love it. Like I get better and better. I got my ass beat so many times, and I was about to like stop playing NBA 2K19, but I get better and better now. Where I'm playing, I think, it's not rookie. So in Korea, it's like the pro is I think the way you start with, and I'm already the next one. I don't know if it's All Star, I think, and the next one is Hall of Fame, which I'm not gonna try yet. I'm at All-Star now, and I had one game on All-Star with like 30 points, 10 rebounds, and 6 assists, so that was a pretty good game. So
all in.
Hell yeah.
It's pretty awesome. I love the game. You know, there's definitely some games. So I mean, I haven't played any Battlefield because I want to give other games a chance. You know, I can't always play the same game. Try to play more variety, and planning on going back to State of Decay 2. They got a lot of updates, a lot of free content too, so that I want to check that out. And No Man's Sky too. Once the new update hits, I'm definitely gonna probably play that a lot more. But other than that, other than Game of Thrones, like watching too, for example, that's the only thing I watched. I haven't really done anything else, so that was kind of like short week. So while we're absent for the 2 weeks, I think I was on vacation for almost 10 days, and then, you know, had the time to play a few days of like few of the 10 days, those games. But it was basically it. Nothing. I played Marooners a little bit. The
What's
Marooners,
that?
I think it was a free game. It's kind of like it's kind of like a Mario Party, but more like in the sense of you're like a caveman kind of fantasy people, and it's all like different events you have to do. It's silly. I don't even think that I could play this a lot, but it's a little party game. I think it was free with the gold membership.
Okay. I was going to ask if it was one of the free games this month, because I remember seeing something that sounded like that.
Yeah, I just wanted to see it. Like, what is that? Because whenever Wes is claiming those, they automatically install on my hard drive. So because we
Tell
game
me about
share,
it.
so I'll just give it a try, and I deleted it now. I think I was like, yeah, it's all right, good, thumbs up for if you want to have a child party game. It's not Mario Party, so I don't play it.
But they did give away the Golf Club 2019 game with the PGA Tour.
I know.
$40 for free.
Yeah, I don't know if that's any good. I haven't tried it yet. It's still installed.
It's supposed to be pretty good.
Yeah,
I'm gonna try.
but
it.
yeah, I still need to play Days Gone, continue it. But like right now, I was hooked on NBA, and then now I'm hooked on Final Fantasy. So it's like it's hard to switch all the time.
At least it's not Battlefield. That's all I can say.
Yeah, and it's nothing against Battlefield.
No, we're not talking about Battlefield.
No, I'm not. It's still one of the best for me in my eyes. I just
Zip it.
needed a different. Listen,
Nope.
I'm zipping it. I'm just saying I just needed a break from it, and that's what I'm doing right now.
Listen, Linda. Listen.
Yeah. Linda, listen.
You know, listen to me.
Oh, hell no. But yeah, that was pretty much it. It's not really a lot. I don't want to keep on dragging and repeating the same kind of words, but yeah, that was my week.
So what's the most adventurous thing you did on your vacation?
Did you put your pickle anywhere it wasn't supposed to go?
Skinny dipping.
Oh, see my
Put it in there naked.
Nothing really. I mean, I couldn't do like super crazy stuff because
You know, noodling with your noodle.
I don't know. I mean,
Goddamn barracuda.
I was pretty well behaved. Pretty well behaved. Nothing really adventurous. It was pretty boring. For the outsider who likes to do adventures and partying, it wasn't like this. We had some drinks. My girlfriend, her sister, and I, we just drank a little bit, and then, talked, and then
Sex on the beach.
No,
One thing led to another.
No, just pretty.
Sex on the balcony.
No, just pretty boring.
Yeah,
pretty
don't get sand in there. Did you get
No.
sun on your
Did you
balloon
get a
knot?
suntan on your balloon knot?
No, it was just a very PG.
Did you go fishing?
No, but we went on the pier where people were fishing, where you could see like the big fish and stuff, and maybe sharks, maybe not.
It's like, no, but I stayed at a Howard Johnson.
Well, we were at Clearwater, which is at the Gulf of Mexico, so that's like the way to go if you want to see the big sharks, like the big fish, and that's where they are, near Tampa area there. So, but yeah, we didn't.
You get stung by baby jellyfish because them little bastards suck.
No, they're more on
Box jellies?
they're more like up north or by the Atlantic side, not where I was.
Yeah, we went to Clearwater, and I swear everything was on fire. But they were literally like this big.
No,
Like maybe an inch or two.
They told us from like if you want to go to Clearwater Beach, like you have to go around May, like middle of May, like we went, because it's after spring break and right before it gets to summer, so it's a perfect season especially to avoid also like the bad fish and the bad people fish. So, but yeah, no, it was fun. Like I definitely want to go again during that time for sure. It was hotel was really nice and everything was awesome. It's pretty. Like, it got me to a point where I came to work today and I was like, why am I here? Why am I not there? I just thought about, swimming in the ocean. That was awesome. Like, you guys don't really know me that way, but I'm always in the water. Like, and if there's, like, vacation on ocean, I don't care. I'm always in the water for, like, the majority of the time. So, I'm like a water rat.
Little mermaid.
I'm the mermaid, man. I'm the germaid. So, but...
I forgot that was supposed to be a shot, not like a chug my Coca-Cola.
I'm
good.
He's good. He just shot like I don't know what it was.
Pretty sure that was like 2
drink.
shots, maybe even 3.
Basil Hayden.
Nuggets said fuck it.
He said fuck it. But yeah, so that was my week, my few weeks, days, whatever you call it. Absentees of podcasting. But yeah, so. This guy looks a little bit tired. For listeners, you can't see it. But what about you, Zach? How was was it the order? Yeah.
What?
No. We don't do orders today. Zach, what's up?
We don't do orders today. So I'm next.
Well, you went in order then.
I don't know.
Right?
Was it
We
the
went
order?
in order.
We went in order. Okay.
Sometimes you just can't break the wheel.
Yeah. Especially when someone brings 2 of his own.
Right?
Damn.
So what did I do over the last 3 weeks? Not a lot. I got conscripted for cakeball duty for a little bit. So the end of last week, I spent a solid, I don't know,
What was it? Cake ball?
cakeball duty. Yeah.
What is that?
Where the fuck have you
Where
been?
have
for
you
two-
been?
Like,
Seriously,
the hell? We've
What is
talked about cake balls at least 70 times.
right?
Did we? What is cake ball?
My
It's a
girlfriend
sport.
has a little side business that she referees this sport where you take cake and you got to kick it into a net, but you can't let it break.
No, really? Haven't we talked about this before?
No,
I feel bad.
She bakes cake balls, like cake pops minus the stick for people. So
Ah.
this past weekend she had a wedding to do plus like 6 orders, so we probably made close to 600 to 800 cake balls this weekend. This
Damn.
past weekend. It was a lot of work and a lot of late nights. And I think I'm dragging ass because of those late nights and lack of sleep because it was hot as hell. But the cool stuff I did, I finished Game of Thrones.
Yay.
I played Apex. Go figure. I played a lot of Mordhau.
Did they fix Mordhau but
Yeah.
Apex, did they add anything valuable?
The patch came out today, and I'm not entirely sure what all was in it. I know there were a lot of sound glitch fixes that they fixed. They enhanced footsteps during firefights and some other things. I saw a quick little rundown of it, but it didn't look like anything major. They fixed Caustic, the passive, because that stuff was broken.
Yeah.
The tanks. But yeah, other than that, just Apex because I like to play that game.
Yeah.
I actually reinstalled PUBG over the
Oh
weekend.
boy.
Oh
played a
boy.
little
I'm
bit.
excited to hear this because I never got an answer.
You got an answer. Shy
Yeah?
texted you back. Yeah, he did.
I don't believe anything that man says.
Okay, well, I mean, it was pretty true. We had a good time. We got Deckard to buy it and come play a couple rounds with us. We had mostly a good time. It's so much slower than Apex and it's poorly out. I mean, everything that was wrong with PUBG is still wrong with PUBG. Buggy, laggy, slow, unoptimized. I guess it does still have a certain charm to it though, because I didn't have a bad time. I can play that in short bursts. I was missing something a little bit more grounded in reality and slower paced, and I played like crap because I'm like, oh, this is Apex. I'm gonna run over here and get these guys.
Dude, how many times did you slide or attempt to slide?
Not that much because I never felt like I was running that fast. You know how you have to be going fast enough in Apex.
Well, I guess let me rephrase that. When you were getting shot at from behind, how many
Oh,
times did you try to
yeah.
slide?
Every time.
Okay.
But yeah, we did poorly. It didn't go well. Tyler was just learning. We were running 3-man squads and getting demolished. But we had a good time. It was fun.
Is it the Sea of Thieves syndrome? That's what I call it. When a game is actually, if you just have it like right there on the table, it's not really the best game you played, but it kind of is really fun when you have the right people to play with. Is it that what you kind of feel with it? Like that's what I feel with Sea of Thieves. I don't think it's the greatest game of all time, but I think with the right people, it can be. Like because you have such a good time with the people you play with.
I think that's my take on a significant amount of games. If I wasn't playing Apex with TJ and Deckard and Shy, I probably wouldn't play Apex. I don't find it to be enjoyable to play it alone, really.
Yeah.
That I guess Mordhau's a little different. I have really been enjoying Mordhau, although I think with the probably close to 12 hours I played it in the last 2 days, I might be a little burnt out. There's a patch coming. The developers have already said they're going to fix the thing that bugs me the most. Stab spamming. Just everybody, regardless of what weapon they have, they just stab and stab and stab and stab. And it's really
it's
annoying.
the quickest move, right?
It's like the quickest move, which I'm fine with it being the quickest move for
the damage that it does.
Small weapons, yeah.
But if somebody's going to run at me with, I don't know, a pole axe and their stab comes out faster than a slash with my one-handed axe.
Needle.
It just, yeah. Rapier, sure, whatever. But a full-on two-handed weapon and they're like, stab. But that happens in a fraction of a second. There's nothing I can do about it.
Yeah.
I got off the dual servers that I was playing, and I actually got in the nitty gritty frontline, the launch, the big game type that they want everyone to play, the 32 versus 32. And
Is it working now?
It's working. It runs incredibly smooth.
Nice.
Every
I
once
need
in a
to
while
try
you
it
get
then.
some lag, but holy hell, is that a lot of fun.
Yeah, let me know when you play next time, man. I still have it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna see when the next patch comes out for it. But I think I might get into some RPGs until then.
Oh yeah,
kind of what I got my eyes set on. I want to play some Baldur's Gate. Never beat the first one. I want to play all the way through that.
good games. Old but good.
Old but good. So yeah, that's literally it. I don't remember anything else. I watched the podcast movie we were supposed to watch. I haven't seen anything else. I listened to a bunch of podcasts, some Joe Rogan.
Did we talk
some
about that
Hannibal
movie?
Buress.
I guess we didn't.
I don't think we've talked about Train to Busan.
I thought we did.
Did we?
Or did we just
feel
all
like
talk
we
about
talked
it
about
amongst
Children of Men.
ourselves?
No,
Oh,
we
maybe
talked
that's
about
what it was.
Children of Men. We never talked
We
about
never
the movie.
officially talked about Train to Busan.
No,
So
we just in our WhatsApp group kind of like
Yeah.
went a little bit, but that's it. We never really talked. No.
yeah, but so that there's some stuff I'm excited about, but I guess that probably a different segment. Or not, because
Sure.
we're flying by the seat of our pants. So here it comes right
Go
now.
for it.
John Wick 3. I can't wait to go see that. I'm hoping to see that this week.
I had to cancel my tickets for it, man. I had
Oof.
tickets for it like 3 nights ago, and my family came in town. Fuckers.
Sounds like family's going to see the movie. Shit.
I looked, the seats were taken.
Ugh.
So I had to
But
cancel.
Pumped about that. Did you see they've confirmed John Wick 4 for 2021?
Damn.
And he has
And
said he will do it as long
Keanu
as people
Reeves.
want.
Yep. And Keanu Reeves has also said he would love to take back his role as John Constantine in a sequel.
Yes.
I was reading that. I was reading an article about that, so that's exciting.
That
I
was-
would love that. I guess the fan base isn't real happy about it though, because whoever's playing Constantine in the TV series on CW is
Yeah.
apparently supposed to be really good for it. But
Goddamn
it's
Keanu Reeves
motherfucking
coming
Keanu
over here,
Reeves.
taking over our borders and taking all our
Yeah.
jobs.
How dare he?
Swain asked a good question. Do you think that Constantine vapes now? I don't, because he's already got lung cancer, so why not stick with it, right?
Yeah.
Although, I mean, technically, didn't he get it fixed at the end? Didn't the devil pull it out of him?
Yeah.
I think so.
I'm gonna play my
he
never
uses
seen
a
it
hookah
card.
now.
Yeah. I hear that's real bad for you still, though, too.
The hookah?
Yeah, the hookah.
Yeah.
I think
all
any
bad.
kind of
Everything that you
inhales
inhale
is bad for you.
Yeah. And some Godzilla. Who's ready for the new Godzilla? Have you?
I'm not.
I was looking at it. I don't know. I like just screaming Mothra in my Asian voice. Mothra, as that little child did in the originals. But
I wasn't
I'm-
incredibly pumped for it. I didn't see the last new one, but we got a shipper in at work that had Rodan, Mothra, and what's the Gamora or whatever on there. Holy hell, do those monsters look amazing, and that has me wanting to go see it. Purely that. And I've heard speculation that there's supposed to be like 30 different monsters in this movie.
Damn.
wow.
Right? I've picked some stuff up and had some guys at work say that, which makes me want to see it. I just want to see Godzilla kick a bunch of ass. And that's the bottom line.
I just want to see a bunch of Japanese people with cameras running from Godzilla going, Godzilla! As they run away.
But I think this one's in America?
That's okay, there's tourists.
Okay. That's fine.
with Mickey Mouse shirts.
Yeah.
Oh,
But yeah,
man.
so that's going to fill out everything I have to say. I don't think I have anything else left. So we'll
At least it's not going to be like, it's going to be like, oh no, Godzilla,
That's my favorite part.
we
though.
must flee.
I love that
We
part
must
so much.
Run now.
But yeah, I'm going to pass
Awesome.
the torch to
yeah.
TJ.
Awesome. So I played some Xenonauts last week. I did not get to play as much as I wanted to. I was a little bummed. Miriam got sick and I was summoned to clean up puke. But that game is just like starting out. Luckily, I've played XCOM because there was no explaining it. Like there was no explaining what you were doing in this game at all. You just start new game and they say, "Here you go." So it was a little rough going at first because I kept trying to go to things like. So I don't know if you guys played XCOM UFO Defense back in the day, but you geoscape, which you just look at the world spin in a circle as time goes by, and you don't do anything but wait for UFO or wait for aliens to attack or something like that. So you're doing that now, and down at the bottom, I kept noticing it said crop circles found in Africa. So of course my base is in Kentucky because it's got to be my home, and it's the home of the Squatch Den is the name of my base. And I try to fly to Africa, and I get probably 200 miles off the coast of America, and it's like your ship has ran out of fuel, and it comes back. So I think it's just keeping you entertained with things at the bottom, so you're not just bored staring at a globe spinning a circle.
Well, I think it's
until
also
something happens.
You only have so long, like a certain time period to beat the game, right? So that time is ticking off.
I think it depends on how you play, because I don't know, because I didn't read anything about it, but if you play like UFO Defense, you could play it as long as you want, as long as you keep all the countries happy and funding you. So you just can't lose funding. Because I remember playing that game just to play. I mean, I could have beat it at any time, but I just kept playing and playing and playing for no reason, just because I like strategy-based games. So it was pretty interesting.
Speaking of, there's a new strategy game coming out that I think you should look into.
All right.
It's called Phoenix Point.
Yes, I've seen a bunch of little videos
And
for it.
if you're interested in it, it's on sale on the Epic Store right now for like $29.99, I think. Because they've got that sale that's running until mid-June, where there's a % off of a lot of the store, and then Epic is giving you $10 on any game over $14.99. They just take an extra $10 off of it.
Awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, I've seen some little videos of that, so I'll have to check it out too.
Yeah.
So, but I got my first went to a first UFO finally after I figured I had to, a certain range that the ships could go, and you don't have to investigate everything because nothing really happens. Like somebody saw crop circles, so I sent one of my jets to the crop circles, and it just sat there until it ran out of fuel. So I think that's just to keep you entertained, like stuff going on. So I played my first mission. Actually got about, I would assume, halfway through the mission I had to stop, but something different with what I'm used to from XCOM is if you don't have an angle on an alien, they'll still allow you to shoot, because your ammo, if it shoots in like a 3-round burst, will break walls. So sometimes you would bust the wall, and the third shot would hit what you were aiming at and kill it. But in this game, it does not. If you don't pop out for a line of sight, you can't shoot. So you really got to plan your strategy out, because if you get too far out and shoot and you don't have enough movement points to get back into cover, you're done, son.
It's
You're
awesome.
stuck out in the open. So you really have to plan.
So it's a little bit more difficult, like a little bit more strategic.
Yeah, because if I was on a corner in XCOM UFO Defense, I would just shoot through the wall in front of me. I would put my cursor on the alien, pull the trigger, shoot the wall down, probably kill the alien. I was okay. If not, I still had that corner angle to protect me, so they would have to move out into the open.
Yeah.
So no more cheating, I guess. I guess you should. Not cheating, but just using your surroundings. So we'll talk about Game of Thrones. I'm not going to talk about that. I enjoyed the season finale. That's all I'll say about that. Movie-wise, I don't think I watched too much. I watched a movie called Serenity. Matthew McConaughey, and Anne Hathaway. I think I just mixed their last names.
No, you're solid.
Oh, was I? Okay. So, weird premise. Probably should have been done about 15 years ago with all the other movies like its premise. And it might have had a chance, but I didn't enjoy it. I'm going to call it a skip it. I wouldn't even...
What was it about? I don't know anything about it.
So, without...
You can spoil shit. Just fucking
spoil skip it movies.
Nobody wants to watch that shit, apparently.
So, well, apparently you wanted to after I gave it such a bad rating.
Not because you gave it a bad rating, because when you described it to me, it didn't make any fucking sense. So I looked it up, and I was like, I don't know. It looks like it might be good to me, but it didn't even seem like the movie you were describing. So I don't know. I didn't watch it.
Yeah. So, like, Matthew McConaughey is out on this boat, and he's trying to catch this big fish. It's like his big fish. Like, he has people out on this boat. This boat is actually owned by the bank. He's supposed to be taking people out on charters, but every time this big fish bites on the line, he doesn't let the people that paid reel it in, but it always breaks his line. He can never catch it, but he's always trying to. Ends up being pretty much none of it's real. So he's in a... I mean, do you all want me to keep going?
I feel like I was excited about this movie.
I thought I was too, but it was a letdown. So it ends up being, and he keeps hearing this voice, and he's always talking to his son, so I thought his son was dead. But I find out later he lost custody to his son because he was over in Iraq in the war. Lost custody of his son. Son is now being beat by the new stepdad along with his ex-wife. Come to find out, he's actually dead.
What?
He died in the war. That's how he lost everything. And the son is creating a video game, so he is living in the video game. So the big fish is always like the big boss that you can never beat. And then all the other things inside what he has to do, like go get bait, go find people, are like the side missions, the side quests.
Does he ever realize that he's in a video game and go, oh, fuck this?
He does. He starts having his, was it Harry Truman show?
Oh, yeah, the Truman Show. Yeah.
The Truman Show, yeah. He has his Truman Show moment when he realizes it. And then he starts like questioning all the NPCs in this world, and they can never answer him.
See, maybe that's why I was interested, because I love the Truman Show.
The Truman Show is one of my favorite
movies. I did too.
Movies,
no, I like the Truman Show. This one did not do it for me. I think it should have been back when the Truman Show came out. That's what I'm saying. Like the era of all these, like, I don't know, different worlds.
So you said it was a skip. I'm just curious, and I don't want to do this for every time we watch a movie, but I'm just curious, since you disliked it so much, if we were still doing the Nug scale, what would you give it? Does The Rock have company?
No, The Rock doesn't have company, because if you don't figure it out in the first few minutes, you'll figure it out eventually, but it kept you guessing. It could keep you guessing. So if you went into it just not knowing it, like I didn't know anything about it. So, but I started to figure out the things along the way. So that's how I ruin movies for myself. And I just overthink them while they're going. But I would have to say, like, man, we haven't done a Nug scale in so long. I'm trying to.
Maybe 5 is average, remember?
Yeah. So maybe like a 3-ish? 3-ish? 3.5?
What would you think about it if you wouldn't have watched Truman Show before?
I would probably be... Because if I would have to give the Truman Show like a 7. Because I enjoyed the Truman Show.
If you didn't know about anything...
If I didn't know about Truman Show... I could probably get it up close to like a 5 or a 6.
Just because it's a unique idea, or would have been?
Yeah, it's a really unique. It is a unique idea, but it just didn't work well.
Yeah, that's how I felt. It needed
something else. It needed something else. If it wasn't 3 weeks ago, I probably could have explained more how I was feeling, like I did with US, because I'm struggling now to even remember a lot of stuff about it.
Right.
But okay. I felt like there was so much story that they didn't know how to tell it all at one time. They kept you going back and forth through things.
That's how I felt with Bird Box after watching Quiet Place and then watching Bird Box. I'm like, all right, like it's not the greatest movie I've seen, but because I watched something very similar, so I can sympathize with that, definitely.
Right. So other than that, I think I probably watched something else, but I'll be honest with you guys, I didn't write it down, and I've had so much go on in the last 3 weeks, I have forgotten.
Yeah,
that's all right.
So we played Apex. I know I played a few rounds with Zach.
Yeah, you got some wins.
I think there was
too.
one night, we got like 3 or 4 wins, and maybe even 2 in a row.
That's what it looked like.
Yeah, it was a pretty good night. Nothing's changed there. Personal life stuff that's not anything to do with here. I went ATVing, fishing, and shooting guns. I could shoot a lot of guns. I was excited. Went and visited some family. We went to the gun range. Got to get the old Henry Big Boy 44 out and
Redneck Adventures.
Action. Hell yeah! We got the lever action. Some
How did it go?
Down range. So that was fun. We went to Kentucky Kingdom, which is like a Six Flags. We rode some rides. I'll let you guys know that this body is not made for new rides because I'm too fat.
I told you those new ones, man.
Yeah, so I was under the weight limit, but you had to pull this harness thing down, and it couldn't get to my lap because it hits my belly. So I didn't get to ride the new rides. I got to ride the old ones, which probably better than the new ones.
There were some there, like one of the new ones. It was I can't remember the name of it. It had a blue car, and the restraint pulls up between your legs and goes over your thighs. And I couldn't. It wasn't even because I was fat necessarily. I was too tall. I couldn't get the damn thing over my knees. The weirdest thing. And
apparently we need to eat more Tide Pods.
Well, I thought, no shit, right? I thought it was a fat thing, and I was feeling all bad, and people were all complaining that it's just, even like normal size people like Pascal or Zach were like, no, I couldn't even get in it. So it was weird.
I could.
It wasn't a kiddie coaster.
I'm telling you, like I was on the one. I got a picture of. You guys saw the picture, dude. I like. Could you imagine Belinda being on the other side of that? Like I was pretty much a quarter of the way into her fucking seat.
Did you get to ride the one I was telling you about where your feet hang?
Yes,
the red
T3.
One? You like that?
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Was actually the first one. So for someone who hasn't rode roller coasters in 15 to 20 years, getting on that bad boy, I was staggering down.
Smoothest ride though. It was.
He's like, smooth. What are you talking about?
Beat the hell out of me, dude. I swear to God, when I got off that thing, I thought it gave me a concussion, maybe blacked one of my eyes, broke one of my hips.
That sounds like fun,
dude. This is how I left right down the fucking path trying to get out of there. I was like, I might die, Belinda, before I get to the end of the exit.
One of the first times I rode it, I almost puked walking back to everybody that was waiting on me. And I don't get sick on roller coasters.
That was rough. And then we rode like an old wooden one, and that was fun. Like you get some air on some of those humps until it lands. But man, at the end of it, this kid slammed on the brakes, and I thought I was going to fly out of it going forward. We were just like, you're moving at like 60 miles an hour. It was like, and just stopped. And I'm like, what the fuck was that?
I don't know. I can't remember the name of that, but there's a part where you can walk under it. And if you stand there and watch that sucker go by a couple of times, it amazes me. And I know it's built in this way on purpose, but there's so much give in that wood that when it goes, the whole structure surrounding the car, when it flies by, will literally shift and move. And it's like, I'm not getting on this. No freaking way. But no,
we used
I rode
to have a blast on the roller coasters, and 3 was enough. I was ready for the kiddie park.
Did you guys do any water park?
We did not do any. We did not pack properly for that, and we also didn't realize that it was going to be like 91 degrees in full sun. So after our 1 mile walk and then 2 miles walking around to the rides, I was done. We took Miriam on a couple of rides, let her ride some rides because we're going to have some fun and let her do it. So we did that, and then we left.
It was so hot.
It was that, and after that, it was cool. The next days, couldn't believe it. Other than that, I think that's about all I got. I think that's all I did. I had a lot of fun. It was a lot of good weeks to get stuff done.
Yep.
And not just always have to be working or unflooding basements at your mother's house. But other than that, I'm gonna pass it on to you, Wes.
I think it's good to always be working. Better than how much I've been working over the last year or so. So my turn. I get to go. I have done surprisingly little over the last 3 weeks. I've been working more. Got a new job, and I'm working more hours than I had been. And my fucking asshole boss is wearing me out. So
What a jerk.
What a jerk. Yeah. But no, so the job's honestly kicking my ass, and I haven't even gotten the full swing of it yet. So time to whip myself back into shape. But video game wise, I played a lot of Days Gone. And this is the Sony exclusive. What I would I would call it, if I had to describe the game, it's a post-apocalyptic zombie open world game built in the formula of Red Dead Redemption 2.
Really?
Yes.
You're further in the game.
Yeah, when you start going from one part of the map to another, they have these long travel scenes where kind of sad and somber white guitar music plays, and they sing a song, and it's the mission structures are very open in a way that's kind of like Red Dead, except Rockstar does a much better job of kind of letting you know what's important and what's not.
Mm-hmm.
It's not as good as Red Dead Redemption 2. I've heard people say that they like it better than Red Dead Redemption 2. Those people also said Red Dead Redemption 2 was a boring game, and I don't understand that at all. I don't agree with that at all. But this game got a lot of shit. It got a lot of shit. It got 5s and 5.5s across the board from the major reviewers, IGN, GameSpot, and I don't understand why. It's a much weaker game in the beginning, and that's their problem. Is it takes too long to grab you. That sounded bad. It just doesn't. Here we go again. It doesn't grip you early enough, and I think squeeze.
Does it get you hard enough?
It does eventually.
But so the build up is too slow.
Yeah, very much. There's just nothing that. There's nothing that really gets you off. No, there's nothing that really grabs your attention and says, pay attention to me early on enough to where you kind of become bored or, kind of disenfranchised with it all. You're just kind of like, it's just, but I like it a lot. It's not a bad game at all. It's not a great game, but it's a solid, good game. I haven't beaten it yet. I kind of quit streaming it because the interest didn't seem to be there. But I had a really good time playing it, and I'm going to continue to play it offline. So,
nice.
Other than that, I've been playing a lot of Madden lately. Last couple days.
Oh, here we go.
I'm not getting Madden 20 though. No, I gotta get good for Madden 20. I'm probably gonna get Madden 20 on the PlayStation this year, and then eventually, I don't know when PS or EA Access is coming to PlayStation 4, but I don't know when that starts.
I think summer. I think like soon, like in June or July.
Okay,
like very soon.
So eventually I'll have it on Xbox when it comes out on that, but I think I'm gonna get it on PlayStation this year because most of the people that I'm associating with now in the Madden community are playing on PlayStation, so they should be thrilled to hear that because I'm gonna pester them now. Other than that, I haven't really played a lot of anything. My kid's been playing Fortnite. I helped him unlock some stuff before the last season started, and now we're into the next season and just crushing it without me, so whatever. Movies and stuff.
Have you seen the new Volcano? Did the new Volcano tear shit up?
The Volcano was had shit fucked up last time. I don't know if it's any different this time.
I forget
July?
that was like
for
3
EA
weeks
Access
ago.
confirmed in July.
July, okay.
Yep.
I played a little bit. I got to play a little bit of Apex with Swain. That was fun one night.
Oh, nice.
We suck. It's official. Let's see.
Like double fisted suck.
The balls were everywhere. I'm pretty sure that's what my character looked like running around getting shot at. But yeah, I think that's about all honestly, I can't think of anything else that I played. That's kind of sad.
The last 3 weeks have just been a blur.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been coming home and going to sleep, man. Like last night I streamed, but what did I do?
I just think it's funny. Like you got this new boss and he's wearing you out and you're
Hey.
like, I'm sleepy.
The good that dude, you take a fat man who has sat on his ass and played video games and watched, sat in an office for 8 hours a day for the last 3 years and make him walk around half the damn day. He comes home and falls asleep.
Yeah.
So like last night I streamed, but I got home at like 7:30, slept till 9:30, just happened to wake up and be like, shit, I gotta go stream. So that's the way my 3 weeks has been. Watch some movies. Well, not this week, but we did go see Endgame. We're going to talk about that later. Watch that Train to Busan.
Yeah.
And good movie. I guess we'll talk about that here in a minute. And watch the last, season of Game of Thrones. And we're going to talk about that too.
Oh, yeah.
You best believe we're going to talk about that too.
Oh, we will.
And that's about it for me, honestly. So, what are we doing now? We're talking about Train to Busan. We're talking about Game of Thrones.
Yes.
We're talking about Avengers.
Busan.
Right? All right.
Whatever you
Who
guys
did
want.
their homework? Guys who did their homework. We were all watching Train to Busan. Chat was supposed to watch Train to Busan. It's a Korean zombie movie. Nobody did their homework. But we did, so we're going to talk about it. I tell you what, I haven't watched a lot of zombie movies, but I do like zombie movies. And I'm going to challenge every one of you guys to tell me, number one, why this isn't the best zombie movie ever made. And number two, what zombie movie is better than it? Because this movie from start to finish had me gripped. The only thing I don't like about it was there's some social commentary that I'm like, they could have done without that, but I don't mind. People want to make a point.
I've heard that zombies in and of themselves are always just a huge social commentary just alone. So
yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
I'm talking about the living people though. But regardless, I mean, characters are characters no matter what they're trying to say. So I can't say enough about this movie. Yes, it's all subtitles.
Who cares?
I didn't care.
It's a good movie.
I thought it was an amazing movie, start to finish. It's if you're a zombie movie fan, this is a straight up buy, no doubt in my mind. So I really don't have a whole lot to say about it. I'm Nugget or Pascal. I mean, dude, what do you think?
You're a zombie expert.
Yeah, zombie expert.
I watched so many zombie movies in my life, from the best of the best at that time to the worst of the worst. Dawn of the Dead is the only movie that I would rank at just from a timeline. Right now, it's kind of outdated, but the remake from Dawn of the Dead, the original was good too, but the remake,
one with the mall, and then at the end they get on the boat.
That movie is, from the time being, like, obviously it doesn't hold up right now. It all seems too cliche, but at that time, those cliches weren't really there like they are now, because zombie movies were not like, there were some, but it weren't as many. And that was the first, I think, really big budget zombie movie with good acting.
When that remake came, was like the beginning of the zombie.
They could run all this stuff. The zombies were like running. They were like, slow, but then they saw you and they're like, bomb. You were scared because you're like, shit.
I hate zombies.
But they're like, it's like, we got to a point of like this kind of Resident Evil, slow zombie, Night of the Living Dead zombie, to something that actually terrifies you, because not only do they outnumber you, they actually, they're dead, but they still have their biology and their muscles from a person and can run.
I couldn't take that movie seriously. That movie did nothing at all for me. Didn't scare me. I didn't enjoy watching it very much.
Dawn of the Dead?
Didn't. Yeah,
I'm with you on that.
No.
I couldn't stand
badass one-liners.
Humor. I couldn't stand the humor in it because I thought it was just so out of place. It didn't envelop me in the world. If the people seemed as scared as the zombies kind of sort of were, I don't think they'd be cracking the jokes that they were cracking the whole time. It just took me out of
I liked it. When I watched it the first time. That was, I think, in 2006 or 5, so 1 or 2 years after it came out. And for me, seeing that the first time, that was the first real scary movie, like scary zombie movie, because I watched Night of the Living Dead, and they were like, all right, great, like here we are in a barn. Like it wasn't like something like super crazy, but that kind of set like the pace for me. And maybe I see it through what you call it, a rose-tinted glass. Like I kind of have like this nostalgia thing with how I felt, because I haven't watched this movie in like 6 years now.
And I'm right there with you.
So like right now I might watch it and be like, this movie is garbage. But that's how I kind of felt about it. The only other movie that I enjoyed from just the theme and setting that I think is on the same level as Train to Busan, but I don't think really there were zombies, but they might have been. I don't know, because they weren't really dead because they could starve.
I hate that, dude. I hate that. I hate that. They're not really zombies because they're still alive. They're not undead. No, they're fucking zombies.
No. What I know, the zombie thing is kind of thing. What I'm saying is they weren't. I don't know if they were undead or not. Because it was never really clarified. Well, yeah, a zombie could be something that is not human anymore. That's this term that it came from the Hawaiian voodoo kind of thing. But what I'm talking about was more if they didn't, weren't the classical undead. So I just don't want to piss people off, because I don't know, were they like the
piss them off?
Dude, nobody's listening to this anyway.
Okay. For me, it was a zombie movie. But the only thing that was on par was 28 Days Later. With
damn right.
Yeah. With the setting, I didn't like the 28 Weeks Later because it was more action-wise, but 28 Days Later, I still like 28 Weeks. I honestly thought they're gonna go 28 months later, but hey,
I don't see 28 years later.
Yeah, no, I that was a movie that I think would be on par with it. Still holds up story-wise very well today. It was more an atmospheric experience.
The only thing about that movie that sucks is we'll never get a good quality remaster of it because of how the movie was shot, and that really bums me out.
Yeah,
because it was shot for all the scenes that they wanted to shoot in 28 Days Later. The camera rigging was too expensive to use professional cameras for it, so they just used Sony Handycams. So what you see on the DVD version is the best you'll get, even in a Blu-ray version, and that's just sad for such a good movie.
That is.
Yeah. So the only thing is they have to completely redo it,
and remat like as well.
No. But I think that was a good one. And going to the topic, the movie of the night, I guess. Now, I watched it actually before it was even suggested. I watched bits and pieces just to get a refresher, but I watched it, I think, 2 months ago, I think, when it was on Netflix. And, man, it's a great movie, the subtitles back and forth, but for me, it doesn't really matter because I needed to watch The Hobbit with subtitles because I couldn't understand half of the English of The Hobbit. Because it was so medieval English. So I don't mind subtitles at all, especially when I came to US too. Every American or English movie was with subtitles just to help me understand.
Halfway through a movie with subtitles, you don't even notice the subtitles are there.
No, you're right. Because you're right. And
your brain just combines it together.
Yeah, and I didn't mind it. I think it was great. It said the feeling of being oh shit, they're in this train right now, and I don't know, the way they did things, character development was there for being, for me in my eyes, a sleeper title.
Absolutely.
Not everybody has on a radar. I think when I watched it the first time, I was like, holy shit, this is freaking dope. When I look South Korea, I'm like, okay, I see you, South Korea. I see you.
The pacing was so good. It started you off nice and slow and slowly ramped it up, and then it didn't fucking stop. And
no, it just
you had those little breather moments from time to time on the train.
So before we move to Zach, Pascal, I'm serious. I want to challenge you guys. Is it the best zombie movie ever made? And if not, why?
Well, I think it's
kind of a loaded question. Or is it the best zombie movie ever made that people have never heard of?
Probably, yes. I can agree to that 100%. Yeah. Best zombie movie in cinema eyes is 28 Days Later, by far.
But I think you could put both those movies on the same level. I think you could say that.
That's why.
I don't think the majority of people have heard of 28 Days Later either. I think that's pretty obscure.
I feel like if I would have to pick one zombie movie that I have to have, like one zombie movie, it's really hard still, but I think I would take 28 Days Later, just because I feel like, not that it's more believable, it's just the whole atmosphere.
It's more of a complete picture too. I mean, this is like one day.
And
versus
and maybe that's all it is. Maybe that's the difference. Because I feel like if we would have gotten 28 Days Later as not even one day later, but just the start of it, I think that would have turned out to be a similar movie.
Yeah,
to be honest.
And you know what I like about zombie movies? Another reason why I stopped watching Walking Dead pretty quick is I like the first days and the first moments of the outbreak, like when things happen to fall apart. I don't want to know about 20 years after the outbreak. I want to know what happens when the government falls, what happens when everybody dies. That is what interests me. Like, you know, like the moments in the cities where people freak out. Those are the best freaking moments I have in a zombie movie, right? And I hate that they never like go back to the cities because it's too dangerous. I like those parts, you know, and I think that's why I like 28 Days Later too, because there's a lot. It was like, you know, very short amount of what happened, and it kind of explains what happened really, like the day 1, day 2, day 3. Train to Busan did the same thing. They showed what happens like right now when shit is falling apart, and I think that's why I rate them so high too. But definitely I think, like, if nobody watched it, definitely buy. Like, I would go right now, like if I could see it on the shelf, I would buy it on Blu-ray because I like the movie. That's like something that I would show people, like, hey, you know what, this is a great zombie movie. You want to watch one? So yeah, definitely. Like, from my rating, Nux scale would be 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10.
We're not doing this.
I know.
No.
So if we would have the zombie scale, it would be 10 brains out of 10.
10 brains out of 10.
So no, but seriously, it's a great movie, and I think everybody should watch it if they're interested in horror or zombie movies, especially. That's probably one of the best ones you can see. Like, at least like on top with the same area as 28 Days Later, at least. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm mostly on board. I think 28 Days Later is the best zombie movie that's come out.
Yeah.
Period. The end. It does everything great. The only downside I'd say Train to Busan had, okay, there were two, and I think they both kind of fall into the same vein. There was just a little bit of comic relief in it that I felt was out of place for what was going on, that sort of just a little bit took me out of what I was watching, where 28 Days Later didn't do that to me. It just felt darker and grittier and more atmospheric, and the little bits of comedy that were there just seemed more real and more human, I guess, than Train to Busan. So I'm going to call him the Jackie Chan character, because to me he was 100%.
He looked like
Jackie
Chan.
Fat Jackie Chan.
And
Buff Chan.
Yeah, Buff Chan. But his character was just a little... I loved his character, don't get me wrong, but if I'm going to say what I didn't enjoy about that movie, what brings it down from 28 Days Later just as a zombie movie, was his character. Just when they go pushing through that car and he's just fucking wailing on these zombies, just beating the shit out of them. Like, that was a little much for me, because it just seems so easy, and it was kind of funny to watch. You know what I mean? It was meant to be sort of funny to watch. And his character, just the comic relief, his stoicness in the face of all the zombies was a little over the top for me. And then there were 2 times in the movie where all the zombies came together in a surge, and then they did this weird like water crashing waterfall thing, and that bugged me.
I loved it when they all ran into each other and fucking started falling down, and
kind of like squirted up.
Yeah,
see, that bugged me.
It made me think of
that's
what really would have
Z.
happened in World War Z.
Yeah, when they
But that was it. I loved that movie.
Here's my problem with the punching that he was doing. Because if you've ever been in a fight and you hit somebody in the mouth, more than likely you're getting a busted knuckle. He's turning into a zombie. Like, how did he
Well, I
keep
mean,
his
he
knuckles.
taped his hands up first.
I don't think he ever
Did he?
planned on coming back though.
Yeah.
I think in the beginning he did. I don't think he was ready to turn. He didn't realize that he was going to turn until right before he did. But they battled prepped up, like they taped their hands up and taped their bodies up a little bit and their forearms and everything.
I feel like he never did the hands.
Oh, maybe
I just thought he
misremembering.
did the
I think
forearms.
he did. No, I think he did.
The kids did the hands. But I never saw him do the hands. He just did the forearm. But
I got
maybe
the
you're
feeling
right.
that he was maybe did some bouncing.
oh yeah, definitely.
With
He
the
was
moonlight
something.
job,
Maybe even
so
like
maybe he's just toughened up, man. He's rawhide on the outside of these hands.
they're calloused.
Buff
working
Chan, man. Never mess with Buff Chan.
Never mess with Buff Chan. But man, wasn't he just such a good Buff Chan character?
He was a good Buff Chan character. At first, I didn't think I was going to like him because I thought he was going to be like a wife beater. So I was really worried.
Why you gotta talk about me, bro?
I was really worried about that, but he turned out to be a good character.
Yeah. I
all of them
liked
were.
all the characters.
Yeah.
Even the characters that I hated, I loved how well they did them to make me hate them.
Yeah, and in a zombie movie, like that's another thing. Like,
Yeah.
so much focus on character development, so it's good.
Mm-hmm. Oh
Yeah.
man, the end had me torn up too. And they're
Oh,
walking down the tunnel, and the girl starts singing the song. Ugh, my heart.
My heart can only take so much.
It couldn't take it there.
Daddy would have
Just
been so happy.
So
Let me tell
happy.
you what I thought they had on there, man. I thought for sure he was the cure. And I was like, he's going to get bit. He's going to attach himself to the train. He's not going to turn. They're going to get the cure out to everybody. And then off the edge of the train into nothingness. And I was like, God damn it. And yeah, when she sings the song that he was supposed to be there for.
And it was so bittersweet because
Uh-huh.
he finally got that moment. The whole movie, it was, go away, Dad. I want my mom. I don't want you. I can go alone. You don't even have to take me. You don't have to bother me. And it was finally, Dad, don't go. And
Yep. And how about that girl screaming? She could scream. That
Mhm.
girl had a set of lungs on her.
Oh yeah.
I was impressed by that. I don't know.
yeah, I think that movie. What do you think, Nugget? Best zombie movie ever made? No. Best zombie movie nobody's ever heard of?
Man, it's definitely best zombie movie that wasn't put out there as much as it should have been. It's definitely a buy for me. I'm trying to think of like zombie movies because when I think of buy for me, it's movies like I Am Legend that I could watch. Like if it was on cable, I could sit down and watch it again. And I sort of like those zombies. It's what I wanted World War Z to be. Dude, the fucking zombies when they fell and broke an arm, and then they would still get like up off without using the arm. Dude, how those actors could do that was amazing, because sometimes they wouldn't even use like arms. They would just use their back and still be able to get up with using the rest of their muscles. But they didn't. Whenever you see that in like a movie or even in TV shows, when like arm's broken, it seems like they still use it.
Yeah.
When this zombie's arm broke, it was broke. It didn't work. He couldn't use it. She couldn't use it. So I think the running was too OP and too much in World War Z. So I was disappointed for that. But I think they did just the right amount. And what Zach was saying about them crashing into each other, I could side with that. I wish that wasn't what happened on some of those moments, because that brought back World War Z to me, when all the zombies would like.
It was they did the zombies so well outside of that. You could tell they spent a lot of time making sure these people played the zombies well, and then you go and throw honestly that kind of trashy looking CGI at me.
Yeah.
It was only 2 times in the movie too, I think, that they did that. One time when it erupted out on the train, and then one time in the train station. I think were the only 2 times they did it, and both times I was just like, yeah, why? Why'd you do that to me? Why'd you show that?
So around the horn, because I don't think we got Zach, but this movie's a buy for me. Pascal?
Buy.
Zach?
Buy.
DJ?
And a buy for me.
Across the board, guys. If you haven't seen it, Train to Busan. It's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix.
And I'm sure it's great on Blu-ray, so I would pick it up, honestly. one of the better movies I've seen in quite some time. So
Yeah.
we should probably move on to Game of Thrones because everybody here's watched it. Guys in chat, if you haven't seen it and you care, fucking spoilers. So get out.
Yankees says
Yankees.
bye.
We'll give you
We miss
about
you, man.
we'll give you about 30 seconds to get out. So have a good night, Yankees. And then after that, we'll
Whoa.
talk about Avengers, and that way, if Pascal and Zach feel like bouncing, they can bounce early because I know neither one of them have seen it. Or if they want to talk, they can stay. So
We'll see what happens.
Maybe they want to cover their news story.
maybe
Nah.
they do. I don't know.
Yeah. We can do it too.
Just give it options. All right, so spoilers, guys. Last warning: Game of Thrones series finale is about to get fucked up for you if you haven't seen it. So here goes. Season finale, series finale was this Sunday,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like the greatest television show of all time wasn't really ruined for me, but I feel like a lot of the things that I had invested my time in caring about, I guess kind of like people in Mass Effect 3 felt, the things that I was invested in and cared about didn't matter in the end. Daenerys's character development of being a freer of the oppressed and, you know, caring for people who were downtrodden and whatnot. And I know she had some mean streaks to her. Was basically just shit on, and she went batshit crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was
Tyrion
shit on.
Tyrion Lannister betrayed his best friend in the world when I feel like at that point he would have done the opposite. And Jon Snow's heritage or lineage, whatever, that entire storyline absolutely didn't matter one
Butchered.
bit. Same thing with the entire story of the White Walkers. And I'm not complaining because that was over in one episode, but he built up the entire series talking about the problem of the White Walkers, and then it's just over. I feel like a lot of things ended so very abruptly that I had a hard time buying into a lot of stuff. But the biggest fucking moment is when at the end of the series finale, and for some god awful reason, they let a prisoner, Tyrion Lannister, start the discussion of who's going to be the new king, and they decide that it's going to be a democracy, which I think was kind of a lofty expectation to begin with, but they all went along with it. Which again, I'm cool with. But when he says, "Who has a better story than Bronn the Broken?" and nominated him for fucking king of the Seven Kingdoms, I laughed out loud hysterically and was like, what the fuck is this shit?
Yeah.
And I still feel the same way about it. And then when he said, why do you think I came all this way?
Oh, yeah.
I was even double like, are you fucking kidding me? Because I'm pretty sure 2 episodes ago you were like, I don't really want anymore. But now I want to be king. So that's my disappointment with it. I liked a lot about it, but I can't help but point that shit out.
I enjoyed it.
I think I enjoyed it. I did. But I think John would have been a better choice. Who cares if he's a prisoner? I think the Unsullied and the barbarians just leaving and going back to wherever was kind of far-fetched. Okay, we're satisfied. We will leave now. What? It's hard to end a show. You know, it's really hard to end a show and wrap everything up, and you can't put a pretty bow on anything. I wish I had more payoff with Jaime Lannister's character. I think that the story arc, they spent like 6 seasons building that guy up. He was my favorite fucking character. And at the end of it all, when all he had to do was make one simple choice or not do anything at all and stay where he was, he's like, oh, you know what? I know you guys think I'm this nice person because I've been trying to be, but I'm actually an asshole. I'm out. And then he just dies in the stupidest way.
He could have stepped like 3 rocks
Jump
behind.
to the side.
Yeah.
Jump to the back. You know.
There was a whole hallway that Tyrion walked down.
Yeah.
Their way was
fine.
blocked. though to get out. So even if they do,
there was a
trapped.
big open. They could be trapped, but there was a big open space next to them.
The city's fallen. When they get in there, they're dead anyway.
Yeah, well,
But at
let
least
him.
Tyrion could bring him food.
I think
to
he
their
should have went to
prison.
King's Landing to kill the bitch. Personally,
Oh, but he wasn't gonna do that.
why not? She tried to kill.
I thought
She
he
sent
was.
somebody to kill him.
I thought that was maybe the way he ended the war, was just he went in there and killed her.
Yeah, but
See, if anything, at that point, I was seeing him as being a pawn to Cersei, and he's gonna go in there and get her to ring the bells, and when everyone walks inside, they jump him.
wow, you
if
really
there
thought
was-
very little of Jaime Lannister.
Well, not that he would have done that purposefully, but that he would have been used that way easily.
Okay, yeah, that could have happened.
But I didn't see it as being out of place that he went back to Cersei. Not even a little bit.
No,
It's-
Not with all the talk they have about how Cersei herself did everything for the kids and he did everything for her.
Yeah,
Like, just because he went north, not because he's a good person or anything, but he did that because if he didn't, then Cersei would have been dead and her children would have been dead. I don't think it was out of his character whatsoever to go there. I think he had his own selfish motives.
I honestly believe, before I interrupt one more, but
no, you're not interrupting. Go ahead.
I feel like this whole season could have been so much better if there were more episode and it wouldn't have been the last season. If they would have, because I read something that was mind blowing. It was HBO offered them a whole 10 seasons of budget, and the writers said no, and now it's clear why they said no, because there's a new Star Wars trilogy incoming. And this is how the season feels. A lot of things where people are like, okay, well, it was fun and stuff, but we leave a lot of things unexplained. There's no explanation. The character build-up seemed to be rushed and forced, and that's what I have my problems with. Was all the prophecies aside, like when Missandre whatever talks to Jon, like, you're the prince that was promised, which Jon Snow, my favorite character through the show, because he showed kindness, wisdom, and he had so good lines. He was dumped down to, I don't want it. Not my queen. She's my queen.
Yeah, but who's to say that wasn't part of the prophecy? So he's still a prince because he was born that way, and in the end, he still saved Westeros from tyranny.
Right.
I mean,
and I think, and that's what I'm saying, I don't have any problems with any of the
Bronn,
endings. I feel
wheelie legs no feely isn't going to be a tyrant.
I think no. I think that Bronn as a king was a good choice. However, they didn't show it enough of what he can do, what he was doing in the night battle. Nobody.
That motherfucker conspired with the White Walkers.
And this is where I hate it. It's like, well, we leave that out for interpretation. Like, no, this is bullshit. You can take your time and explain it. Stop rushing this show. And that's what it felt like. It felt rushed. And season 7 already felt kind of rushed, if you think about it, with the shorter episodes. So if they went with just like 3 more episodes at least, it would have given them more time to develop more characters, to make Daenerys turn to the Mad Queen, which was kind of like predictable in my eyes from how she turned in season 7, kind of, and how she, that it would have kind of made it more believable.
I don't think it would have made it more believable, because I think the reason that someone's going to turn to do something like that is going to be from a rapid succession of major losses, and that's what she experienced. That's what turned her loose. She lost her Jorah. She
didn't turn. She snapped, and that's the difference. She snapped.
I think that's a snapping situation. I don't think
I feel like she deserved something better than snapping. I feel like, in my eyes, it would have been more fitting towards the the gods flip. No, it's like
the gods flip the coin at her birth.
Yes, exactly, and that
was in her, and her losing everything is what made it happen.
So it's also in Jon Snow, right? After that, he's also Targaryen, right? Half Targaryen, half Stark.
Well, he's the other half of the coin.
I know, but that's what I'm saying, though. Like, but you could have made it like Rhaegar Targaryen, the Mad King, as explained throughout the show and in the books, and I'm just going right now by the show, though, did not do all this overnight. He slowly built up not just in like 1-2 battles. It slowly came to him through the power. He had so much power that he turned
But
insane.
we don't know. I mean, Daenerys was attaining the power, but we also don't know if Rhaegar lost like Daenerys lost.
But that's what
the snap happen.
But that's what I'm saying though. In a way, it's like more explanations, more background.
I don't think we need more explanations.
I do.
Why though? Because it's more human for her to have just snapped because she lost everyone she loved.
For me,
in a matter of weeks.
She didn't lose everything she loved. She still had Jon.
No, she didn't, because Jon wouldn't be with her anymore because he wouldn't sleep with her as his aunt. He wasn't there. He wasn't the love that she needed from that. She needed a physical, intimate relationship with him for two reasons. A, because I think she actually loved Jon, and B, because that keeps him under her thumb.
She was never going to be with him anyway after she found out the truth, because he was always going to be a threat to her. Whether he threatened or not, she was going to perceive him as that threat. She would have turned him into the demon. Like, she would have made him a demon to her.
I think if Jon wouldn't have, if she would have remained queen and Jon wouldn't have been with her, I think that would have happened. But if Jon would have stayed with her, like as a husband, as a lover, all that sort of things, I don't think she would have kicked him to the curb. Right. I don't think she would have demonized him, because
if he hadn't went and told somebody like she told him not to.
Yeah, but that's the Stark.
Just asking too much anyway.
But the and that was another thing. Like Arya and them, they had this whole speech of like, hey, we're a pack. We always stay together, and we don't, family sticker. We're gonna be together. And then she's like, I'm going to go west of Westeros. What is that? In my head,
Essos.
Immediately, Essos. And then Jon just stands there. I don't know. I'm like,
nobody's ever been there.
Yeah, I'm like, Essos, man. It's right there. So I don't know. That was kind of like weird. And then, but no, the one thing where I try to like battle with you is that there was a scene where she had a fight with Sansa, and when she on the table, and she tells Sansa this: Jon is the only person that makes me forget about the throne, right? Yet 10 minutes later in this season, she's all about the fucking throne. Like, who kneels in front of her, and it's really important to her that people kneel in front of her. And then I'm like, you just said it's not.
She was just trying to get Sansa to be friendly with her.
So I mean, but this all, like, for me, just for me, like, I see where you're coming from, and I agree with you 100%, Zach. I just feel like that it will make it easier for me to watch. It would be a lot more explained if they just take their time with stuff. Like, make the same with Train to Busan, man. Just like take your time developing the characters, make it a little bit more.
But I just feel like we have 7 seasons of character development anyway. I think you could have extracted arcs from what's already happened.
But you have 7 seasons of
but you didn't lose any episodes because they were only an hour long prior, and now they're an hour and 30, hour and 40 minutes.
Right,
long. But we effectively had the 10 episodes just in the extra time they gave us.
But you had all this character development and the whole like scene build-ups of certain events that they nullified, though. Like, build-up of characters, redemption arcs of characters that they kind of nullified. And I get it, people have to die and stuff, but honestly, this whole like bittersweet moment, it was so predictable. I think like 2 years ago, I told Wes, it's like, well, Jon is gonna kill Daenerys. Like, it was, they build it up.
Good, they've done their job then by giving you the seed to get you there.
That's true, right, but however,
I was trying to see if they're gonna do the same thing that I thought Star Wars might do with The Last Jedi. Throw us completely off the board, right?
They did with Bran the Broken.
Yeah, and
I called that back in
Hot Wheels.
3, so.
But that's another thing. They address him as Bran the Broken. I thought like he's the 3-eyed Raven, but then again, I guess it makes sense because he is Bran still to people. But I'm like, I don't know. When this whole thing with Wes says, although it was the stories, and like, who is a better story? It's like, I don't know. I mean, Arya, Jon. I mean, they all have like pretty good stories. But I think he was referring in that moment to the whole like he knows all of their stories. He knows everything, kind of thing, right?
Exactly.
So
I just wanted to touch on y'all talking about Daenerys' turn. Jeremy Johns, YouTuber, So he really likened that turn to Anakin Skywalker's turn to Darth Vader in Revenge of the Sith, where one minute he's all noble and you have to stand trial for your crimes, and the next minute he's murdering kids with a lightsaber, children. And I can't disagree. Like, I knew she was going to turn. I felt like she was going to turn. I just didn't feel like they executed it in a believable way. I felt like she was going to turn. I hoped that she would, to be honest. So what happened was what I wanted to happen. I wanted her to go Mad King. I thought she was going to, but I just didn't really buy the way that they executed it. You know, just suddenly they've surrendered. I won. Fuck them all anyway, because I want to rule over a pile of ash and nothing.
And that's the thing too with this whole like, she snapped. Well, I don't know. Arya lost Ned, Sansa lost Ned, Jon did, and they all did. And I get it's a Targaryen blood, but hey, Jon had Targaryen blood too, right?
It's Targaryen blood, but people are different.
I know, and I get it, but it's just like it just felt rushed to me. That within 2 episodes, all of a sudden she's like, boom, I'm gone. Like end of the.
I think we can all agree it was a little rushed.
Got there.
I know it's just like from one moment to another, and there couldn't be like 2 months or 2 days behind it. But what is her name? Like Miller's, I don't know, the chick there that dig. Like she died, right? And then that was another thing with the dragon. So you're telling me that she can fly around all those ballistas with Drogon and destroy all of them?
Oh man, just a little Deus Ex Machina, my friend.
I mean, but then Euron kills the other dragon really with ease. So I don't know. It's just
she learned and adapted.
I feel like that
made him look into the sun.
It will make more sense if they She's like spoilers. But
you can't mute yourself.
I feel like she had like more it would have been nice to have a little bit more time, like for me to make it like execute it longer, like show that I mean, I don't know. Like, here's my thing. Like, I can't say that this was the best episode. I honestly feel that the battle was for me the best episode of the season by far, but only because the music really. I didn't like how the winter was 1 episode only. It should have been at least 2. It should have been way more fatalities in my eyes as a viewer, because
you mean of main characters.
Some of them, maybe like have Brienne die, or even Jaime at that point. I don't know, just a lot more characters die or be in trouble. Because in my eyes was the whole show was, here's the big battle, right? Like for 7 seasons, everybody said, forget about the Game of Thrones, about the Man Wars.
Okay, but the title of the show is still Game of Thrones.
It is still Game of Thrones, but I don't understand, because I keep hearing people make this argument that, the Night King was just such a shitty villain. We saw him one time and he was just dead.
We saw him more times. Yeah, no, I get it.
But what I'm saying, like, how would you have wanted that scenario to get extended that would have made it
win,
because they either win. This is their final stand. They either win or they're dead. You can't extend that out.
There's no win. Some survive. They have to mount a comeback or something. Other than a backstab from a
the Night King would never retreat, because he raise all the dead right there. There's no believable way.
No, there is.
That you could how
I can give you the perfect thing how Pascal could do it. No, here's the thing. Kill major characters. Winterfell falls. They find an entranceway through the crypts.
Dead major characters rise from the grave and kill everybody else.
No, they at that point I didn't know that all the people in the graves also come up. But that was my thought with the thing.
Keep going though, because I want to hear how you're going to deal with this.
So they somehow get an escape. They head more towards the west, towards the King City. So they
fleeing, by the way.
They're fleeing
because an army of undead that doesn't need to rest and won't stop
they
moving
would never make
when
it.
They do.
They don't have Hodor.
Well, there's also dragons. I'm just saying, like, the main characters flee. You know, they have dragons. They flee on their things. So he was my theory. It was my theory that before the battle, then Cersei comes in. with with their ballistas and stuff, kills the ice dragon, and they get like slowly victory against him because Cersei has all this like the gold bank and the iron bank, whatever, behind her, and all this manpower, and they have like weird things at King's Landing. So they beat off the undead, and then Cersei and then Cersei comes backstabs, kills one of the dragons.
Oh shit! It fell off.
You know, I thought at this point that she kills both dragons, but it wouldn't make sense. She kills one of the dragons and then like backstabs them because they won the thing.
But you're gonna tell me that that's somehow more believable to have happen than they either win or lose?
No, I knew that. For me, it was like I thought they're gonna lose. They're gonna have to retreat to something nearby. They get help from the Essos people, maybe, even though I don't know, like the light people all from Essos, the witches and stuff.
If somebody showed up out of the blue that you're not expecting, would you really buy that either?
I mean, I don't know.
Saying.
It's not necessarily more viable. I just feel like that it was kind of like
man, that's the point you were just trying to make to
me.
You
just want there to be more time.
You just wanted to be more Game of Thrones.
I just wanted to have like more of the Night King undead kind of thing, because it was the whole theme of the show in the beginning, right? I mean, the first episode they got introduced, so I thought like that is like this big thing, and and I don't know, and here's where I got carried away. I read about all in the books, and
I don't want to talk about the books in this,
but that's where I got carried away, and that's why I still gave the episode. I mean, I don't know if we talked about it. I still gave it a good thing. I thought it was awesome. I called Wes. I'm like, oh my god, did you see Arya? I didn't expect this. It was crazy. Like I was so pumped up, and I thought it was good. But there was like a few things. Like I mean, I thought like. There was maybe like a little battle between Jon and the Night King, but then again, I was like, the Night King never 1v1'd anybody before anyway, so why would he do that?
I felt like Arya was like a classic D&D thief character with the backstab ability.
Yeah.
They never saw it coming, stabbed him in the back with a dagger, 900% critical hit. He's done.
The culmination of all her faceless training was there, and then we didn't have to handle it anymore.
The one thing that I want to boil down to, though, like I said, I try not to disagree with you, but it was like kind of my thought was like, I wish it would have lasted longer. Like I wish there would have been a retreat, and you bring all those points, but again, I mean. Then I can also argue, what was Bronn doing? Was he just luring it in? Well, we don't know for sure because it was never explained what he was doing.
But I see I have a huge problem with people wanting Bran to be an actor in the world. He's not really an actor in the world. At this point, there's nothing he could warg into if he can to control something to sway the battle.
The Night King.
He doesn't have a necessity to act in the world. He doesn't have agency. He is the world. He's connected to everything. So
and I don't want that. I don't want him to do anything. I just wanted to know what he was doing in that moment.
I think he was just a big piece of meat. He was bait. He was there only because the Night King was coming for him.
Why was the Night King coming for him?
I don't know.
Because the Night King wants to end humanity, and the best way to end humanity is to get rid of its memories, and Bran is the repository of the memories for man.
There you go. Now he made it more understandable.
And he was, they did.
But he
was a big piece of meat. He was just sitting there because he said he knows where I'm at all times, and he was just sitting there as meat. And he came for him, and he got stabbed in the back. I think more than anything, what Pascal's trying to say is that he just wishes not that the battle itself was longer, but the part featuring simply the Night King and his demise was longer than I'm here. Fuck, I just got stabbed and I blew up and I'm dead. You know what I mean? That's what I wish would happen. It doesn't bother me that it didn't, but I think we just wanted some kind of a scene with him,
to give the idea that no one was going to be able to withstand a 1-versus-1 fight with the Night King because Drogon came down and burned the fuck out of that dude, and it didn't do anything.
Doesn't mean
he rolled in a winter fucking storm so thick that you couldn't see through it behind him. He raises the dead from the ground. You're not going to go up to this person.
Isn't it funny though that everybody was okay with Arya killing him?
Well, I mean,
she's just OP.
That was just everything.
She's the next Captain Marvel.
Culminated.
If it was going to be somebody, it had to be her or Jon Snow. I mean,
yeah. And I honestly,
people were okay with it.
I was okay with it. I just
he's OP, man. He sat in front of the dragon's breath, couldn't take him down. It blow buildings away. She comes in and pokes him with a fucking sword.
that was a cool move, though.
It was a cool move, and it was right from the prophecy, man.
Oh, I know. I'm just giving everybody a hard time because.
So and funny that you said that too with the Princess Promise thing, because I when I saw it I kind of forgot about it, but it never says that he's like a Night King or something. It just says he balances humanity, brings like light and darkness at the same time, like
I'm gonna be honest,
and that was Jon Snow did though. Like
I don't know jack shit about any of the prophecies or anything in the show because I didn't pay attention. I pulled that out of my ass.
No. Hey, no, but it was true though.
Sounded
it was
good.
true though. No, it was true though, and it's just like the whole time. And here's the thing too, like it is a Game of Thrones, and the book might be saying something completely different once he finished the last 2 books. He says he has like a manuscript of 3,000 pages right now, so it's gonna be a long book that he has to do. George Martin.
We're not talking about the books. We're talking about the show.
know. No, that's where I get this, Wes. Jesus, I'm just trying to get my point across. I'm just saying that for the show's theme and in the name, I think this whole series as a whole was fantastic. If not a groundbreaking show for a whole, millennia almost? Like for this past, like it was how long? 2011 till now?
Decade.
Well, millennia is like 1,000 years.
Oh, no,
Decade.
millennia, decade. Yeah, sorry. Sorry, I got the wrong word there. So, definitely. I mean, even for longer than that, I think a lot of people enjoy it. I honestly, I liked that there was for the Stark. I think, to be honest, the show could have been also called the Game of Starks, because from the get-go, and I've never seen it that way, but they all got their good ending. And I agree, I like it. Like, okay, it was bittersweet for Jon, but as you can see, he was...
I think that has something to do with the Starks, though. Weren't they descendants of the first men?
Yeah.
So it kind of makes sense for all of that to be part of them, and they be the major story carriers.
And tell that to Rob.
Show.
And if you look at but if you look at the...
But I mean, without them doing the parts that they did...
Yeah, and if you look at their journeys individually, like how it ended, I think was kind of fitting too.
I thought the send-off for all the Starks, for Jon Snow and the 2 Stark girls, I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah. I think Jon had the coolest one with Tormund and Ghost, and I think it was pretty fitting. And then he went with the wildlings, free folk, to be a free man.
I think all 3 of us need to shut up a little bit and let Rooster over here tell us what he thought, because he has not said a fucking word.
You gotta break in here, man. You gotta kick the door down.
Hodor.
Hold the door.
Man, I enjoyed the episode. I feel bad that Pascal won some more.
I always want.
It was enough for me because I told Wes, I talked about it. It's like between all the deaths and the betrayals to her, there was also a little bit of what she saw she was getting, or what she saw could be taking away from her, because nobody wanted to do, King of the North. But I felt like it reminded me of Thorin Oakenshield when he found the gold.
Yep.
And then he said, "Fuck all my friends. This is my gold. You all got me here." But he went crazy. It happened. Yeah. So I feel like it was all together, and I felt that it was fine. I'm okay with her roasting the city. I got a pin in my beard.
Sometimes you just lose shit in there,
Might be a fucking mouse trap in there if you look hard enough. I found a dirty condom in his beard once.
So I don't know, man. The send-off was good. I think they opened it up for several spin-offs, and if anything's true that I've seen on the interwebs, it sounds like confirmed by George R.R. Martin that 3 are coming, which could easily be what still happens in Westeros, Arya, and maybe what Jon Snow's doing.
Yeah,
but
I'll be interested in that.
The Adventures of Jon Snow and Arya Stark.
Yeah, so dude, I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good episode. I forgot, honestly, that I called, I think around season 3 was what Belinda said, that Bran would be on the throne.
You did.
Because it's what they kept out. That's the way I felt about it. they kept him so far back for so long. You were focused on all these other people competing for the throne, and for them to
He
throw a
comes in
wrench
swooping
in it
from the
like
back.
that.
Yep.
Yeah, it just threw a wrench, and I don't even know if it's that.
Why do
I
you
just think
think
it's
I
George
came all
R.R.
this
Martin
way?
being George R.R. Martin. Like, they'll never see this coming. We're democracy. Brand gets it, but I think Brand's a good choice because you have all this stuff that's gone down previous and all the stuff that's going to go on in the future, and he can see where it's
And
going to
he's
go.
got a chair since the Iron Throne no longer exists.
Yep.
And I
So
think
he
doesn't
comes
he
with his own throne.
doesn't he live longer too? Wasn't the Three-Eyed Raven like super old? Didn't they usually live longer than normal folks?
I thought he lived longer because he
Because of
became a
where,
tree.
where he
okay.
was.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
That's what I took that to be the reason why that Three-Eyed Raven, like he had to wait long enough to get a replacement, so he hid.
To get into the Tree of Life, yeah.
Dude,
makes
you're gonna
sense,
have to
yeah.
lock those fucking cats up in the future. They sound like a bunch of slave children in your basement or something.
They actually, I have to stop doing that because they are locked up right now, and that's why they're making this sound.
Yeah.
So
Well, Wes,
the
I
curiosity with the whole Drogon taking off with Khaleesi has got me intrigued.
I had some questions about that too.
Ask me your
how
question first.
intelligent- Well, my question is going to be a whole nother topic to talk
Okay,
about.
just don't forget.
So I won't. I have it written down. I wrote down some stuff when we started. When you gave our intro to talking about Game of Thrones. How intelligent are the dragons in Westeros?
Apparently,
Like,
extremely.
because you have, just from my fantasy knowledge, you have Dungeons and dragons that are extremely intelligent, just very malignant. They're evil entities that possess extreme intelligence on the level of gods, essentially.
Not like that. Because
Right.
Tyrion said they're smarter than some men, though, in one of the episodes in season 6. Because my girlfriend was just watching that when he is in that in Marine, I think.
Is that when he said? Because I was curious because I don't remember very much of the dragon lore. So Drogon obviously recognized that even though Jon killed her, it was actually the throne that was the main cause.
Yeah, he
Like,
recognized. He either knew that he couldn't hurt him, but he could have eaten him.
Eating him. Yeah.
So it's not because he couldn't burn him or anything. I think he let him live because he knows that he loved Daenerys, and I think he proved his point by saying, fuck this idol over here that has caused all of this.
Mhm.
And he burned it to the ground, took his fucking soccer ball and said, fuck you guys, I'm going home.
Exactly.
And
This is what happened.
And that was my favorite scene of the entire episode.
Yeah.
Because it was it just, to me, it was poignant.
Yeah. It was that Game of
he
Thrones.
made a point and he
That
left.
was my favorite scene, or the moment where the moment with the wings in the background.
That was
that
visually
when
that was
you
nice.
knew Daenerys had finished becoming as evil as she was going to be.
That whole scene reminded me so much of First Order and Force Awakens when they're all like standing like we celebrate the New Republic or whatever imperial shit. But that was epic, and
That was.
all the people on the internet like Drogon is so dumb, think the throne killed him, and blah blah. Like, no, that's not the point of this whole scene. And you
She ran into a
summarized it
sword on the throne trying to sit on it.
He summarized it perfectly. He, like the dragon, understood what was happening, and he made it like it was a symbol of here. This is what ends now. This is what breaks the
That's
wheel.
what I think of this of
He
your
did his
y'all's
fucking
bullshit.
trigonometry.
Yeah.
So I mean, I thought it
And
was.
then what about the snow cover though?
Oh, dude, that was
When
Dark
John's
Souls
walking
stuff.
through it, it starts moving. I'm like, did the fucking hound live? He's coming out of the rubble. Goddamn dragon. Like, what's
Dude,
up, bitches?
they made a meme, and all of a sudden you see like Jon Snow walking. There's like a health bar and like the Dark Souls on the left thing, like the Dark Souls equipment, and he walks it on the sun. There's his enemy, and you see like the life bar having like a boss that appears in Dark Souls. That was epic too. With
A
the
little
snow,
bit of
yeah.
both,
I
Shy.
think
I think it was snow and ash.
So I think it was.
I
was awesome.
I would say my second favorite scene is when Tyrion threw the hand of the kingpin down.
Oh yeah, that was so good.
Yeah,
I
that
really
was
feel like
ballsy.
that episode was. I mean, I know it was they finished everything, but I really feel like that episode was also more than anything, or more than to any other character. I felt like that episode was kind of a tribute to him. You know, his character.
He had a lot of things to talk again.
I mean, he was really the central figure of it all.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I like also
he
that
got him there.
Yeah. And that's what he said too, like his redemption where it's like, I made a lot of mistakes, too many, you know, but here's what's gonna happen now, what I think is the best thing. And I don't know, I thought it was cool. The thing that I chuckle too is when Sam, when he is like telling about, let everybody decide, and everybody starts
They
laughing.
start laughing.
Yeah.
I like it when Sansa's uncle is up there. Well, I mean, I think that I have reasonable experience. And she's like, sit down.
And then
he's just like,
he doinks his sword on the chair when he goes to sit down. Yeah. That was good.
Man, it was a good episode.
Yeah. I
don't agree with the choice, but yeah, I mean, it was good. Who has a better story than Bronn the Broken?
I will agree with you.
A lot of fucking people.
The way they presented Bran to become king wasn't
awkward,
great.
If anything.
It was, that is the biggest forced moment I felt.
Yeah.
In everything.
And that was the biggest problem I had with the show, or with the finale. So,
yeah.
My question: can you clarify what you meant about Tyrion turning Varys over, betraying his best friend? Because I didn't feel it.
You don't think he did that?
No. I definitely think he betrayed him, but I think his motives weren't particularly hidden. Like he did that because he still believed in Daenerys.
He believed. Well, he knew that he had to. I mean, it was basically to the point where he knew that Varys would kill her if he got the chance. And by kill, I don't mean Varys doing it himself. I mean he was going to have her killed one way or another.
I mean,
and
he tried already.
That was his motives.
Yeah.
And he had to, and in killing her, who stands beside her. Well, now Varys is saying, look, buddy, I love you, but you're on that side too. So now Tyrion's got to be thinking, well, fuck, he'll kill me too, because I know that he has the conviction to do so, you know? Mm-hmm. And the same thing goes for Tyrion. I think Varys had to be on high alert. He knew that it was, that Tyrion would probably, he was going to do what he believed no matter what he believed in. I just think that when faced with the decision at the end of the day, Tyrion would not have made that choice. I think he would have been like, you know what? Varys is fucking right. I think they had to have a right and a wrong side. They had to have that conflict between the two. But if we were playing it out in my mind, the way I think that it would have happened, and it isn't necessarily the greatest for maybe like telling a narrative or, making the story more interesting, is that Tyrion would have ended up siding with Varys and helped him make moves to make that happen. That's why I said I didn't buy that happening. I think they did it for, story conflict, intrigue, whatever. And it's fine. I didn't have a problem with it. I felt like, no, I think at this point in the way he's seen things, he would feel guilty about it, but at the end of the day, because he's always based on, doing the right thing lately, and he knew what was going to happen.
Varys' ashes
can tell my ashes.
I told you so.
Yeah, and so I think he would have. Ended up helping Varys try to convince Jon Snow or something instead of going to Daenerys and saying, "Hey, I got bad news for you," and in turn getting his best friend killed, which obviously wasn't the motive there, but he knew it was going to happen too. I don't think it would.
I think Tyrion's thing's always pure. I think Varys's is always motivated for some reason.
I think Varys,
I don't think he always
Varys has never.
In his
I disagree. I have never seen Varys act any way that I can remember that in his mind, just like Saddam Hussein wasn't the bad guy, right? In his mind, I've never seen Varys take any kind of action that in his mind did not benefit or serve the realm, which he always said he would do. So in that way, he's not a good or a bad guy. He's just someone that has beliefs like everybody else, I guess. So,
okay.
Hope that clarified my feelings.
For sure. There's nothing to argue about that with.
All right, so we all liked it, but I was a little disappointed in the way some of it was executed. I don't know. What's your final thoughts?
I enjoyed it. I think it was a good culmination. I mean, would I have liked the season to be longer or a second season? I think, but at the same time,
Who
I
doesn't
think the
want
way
more?
they exactly, who doesn't want one? Who doesn't want more Game of fucking Thrones to watch? I think given that those were the constraints that they had, even if they put it on themselves, they did a good job with what they had to work with.
German Nugget.
Well, I think as a whole series, definitely good. Did I wish it would have been longer and a little bit more extensive? I guess is that's the right word. Like a little bit, more. Then I would have rated higher, but it's still a buy. Like if you have the whole collection, buy it if you have the chance. I mean, if it's not $200 or something or $300, but even then, I think it's still worth it for the entertainment value you get. But again, I just wish it would have been kind of like Wes said, kind of disappointed, but not in the worst way. Just still kind of like, I enjoyed it. I'm glad it's, how it ended. It was a good thing. I just wish it would have ended a little bit more. I don't know, a different way that I imagined. However, still great show. Definitely. I don't know where I'm going here. So yeah, great show. I still enjoyed it. You still enjoyed the last episode.
Final
too.
thoughts means wrap it up, buddy.
Yeah.
I'm just messing.
I think it was great. I enjoyed it. I liked it. I think it went to where I wanted to go. Obviously, I agree 100% that there could be more, and who doesn't want more? But I think we'll get all that in spin-offs.
I hope
Hopefully
so.
they can do as well as they did. So we'll see.
If they're half or
Depends on who's doing it.
3/4 as good as the original show, I think it'll be wildly successful and fun.
Yep.
Well, I guess that's gonna do it. Unless anybody else has anything else about Game of Thrones.
Nope.
I don't know about you guys. I don't think we got time to talk about Avengers.
No, I think that needs to be another.
I mean, I don't even. Do we have to talk about it?
Not at this point. I mean, we can talk about it briefly next week or something. So if we've got any news, guys, now's the time.
I got something Game of Thrones related.
Oh shit!
Yay!
That actually, I looked at that last night. The creator of Game of Thrones, of the books, recently said he in his blog post that he writes that he's got finally met up with the developers. Game developers. He gave his rights to build a game from Song and Ice of Fire, which is Game of Thrones based on. And that game developer is from Japan, and he said it's a high-class development studio. So everybody's freaking out right now because the biggest studio, one of the biggest studios with RPGs, and he said even in the blog post, open world RPG, is From Software, creators of Dark Souls and Sekiro. And that's probably the biggest one that could do that. So now the rumor is that the game that is going to be shown at E3 or teased at E3 this year, so everybody get excited for that, a Game of Thrones game, open world RPG, might be from the Bloodborne, Dark Souls developers. So we'll see that.
Like straight up hearsay, though, right? I mean,
no, it's in his blog post. I mean, it's the guy himself,
but it doesn't say who it is.
No, but yeah, it's pretty much that From Software already said they're working on a new high anticipated open world RPG, and now this kind of ties it all together. So,
gotcha.
I don't know what Zach has right now.
What is Zach doing?
I heard the words Game of Thrones and open world RPG together, and I'm just super fucking bummed about it.
You don't want a Skyrim themed
no,
or a skin for Skyrim?
Write me a new story and let me play through that shit with some A+ gameplay. Don't fill me up with a bunch of bullshit filler in a world I walk around in. So
I
fucking
mean-
tired of that.
I mean, who knows? It could still be like linear, more linear than other things. It might not even do the show's material. It might be the War of the First Men.
Like, give me Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, the video game, if you want to give me something fucking cool.
Hack and slash, baby.
Yeah. I mean, who knows? I mean, RPGs could be good too. So who knows? I mean, we're not talking about Skyrim, but it could. Witcher's an open world RPG that heavily focuses on story. So who knows? It might be something like that.
Yeah, still. Ugh.
I think it's gonna be. I think that's the only thing that kind of works for that actually. But it's just me. Because I recently just said, man, Skyrim is awesome, but I wish it would be in Westeros. Like I wish it would be, super Game of Thrones now.
Right.
But I don't know. I think it's. Who knows? We'll see the teaser on E3.
I mean, it's like anything else. I think if it's done right, it'll be good. If it's done like most things, it's gonna be like you had a chance. And what else?
Have you guys heard about these weird murders that have been going on in Germany? Actually,
wasn't me. I mean,
there's
Pascal did.
You have been gone for a while.
Florida.
You know, Pascal, you sent all those pictures of the beach and shit, but I never saw you in any of them.
That's true.
Well, there are pictures of me.
These things started before he left.
Oh.
5 people have been found shot dead by crossbows in the last 2 weeks in Germany.
Nice.
3 people in the same hotel room. They show up at night, like normal check-in time. They go in to clean their room in the morning, and there's 3 dead people. 1 person on the floor and 2 people on the bed holding hands, killed by a crossbow. Nothing else to be found. Then they find 2 more. Obviously related because there's fucking crossbow. Like a couple miles away from it. I'm not super hip on everything that they found out. I just think it's fucking nuts. And some of the headlines now is it might have something to do with some medieval sex cult.
Nice. Fucking Joffrey.
400 miles away. 2 more deaths linked to the incident were discovered after police searched this chick's apartment about 400 miles away in the city of Wittingen in Lower Saxony state.
Well, Lower Saxony, that's where I grew up in.
Go figure.
Interesting.
That's crazy.
Where were you on the night of the 20? No, I'm just kidding.
I just feel like that's crazy because it's first I thought like it's like some satanic ritual stuff or like werewolves are real. I don't know. No, that's crazy though.
He knows something and he's hiding it.
Does it say like what happened, like what the mode? So was that the only thing they're guessing, or did they find anything? I'm curious about that though.
Motherfuckers with crossbow bolts in their necks.
Right. I mean, yeah, everybody can see corpses and find them. I was like the motive behind it.
Let's see.
Find anything
5-star says, was it Pascal's doll?
God damn.
It's starting to find me.
The storefront window of the dude who's the suspect's medieval fetish shop in Hockenberg, would that be it? Germany?
Is that where they stole the crossbow from?
It is adorned with a mannequin splattered with fake blood sitting open-legged on a counter.
Damn.
Thick chains across her shoulders like suspenders. A stained blindfold is pushed up above her eyes. They sell replicas of ancient weapons like longbows, spears, and battle axes, and Knights Templar flags. And they offer medieval reenactment and jousting classes. Ooh. This is the weirdest fucking place in the world.
I think you just did the weird and wacky news.
Yes, they turned LARP into a complete new level.
This dude was the tattooed and pierced owner shop. Weiss is his name. Police say once owned a dog that used to maul and bite other canines to death.
Wow.
He was found dead with crossbow bolts protruding from his neck and skull on a double bed on the second floor of a quaint B&B in the picturesque Bavarian town of Passau. By his side was 33-year-old Kirsten Enders, who had succumbed to similar fatal injuries. On the floor in front of them in a pool of blood was 30-year-old Farina Kaspari, suspected of honoring Weiss's Dominator command to first kill him and Enders and then take her own life, which she clearly did. Could you imagine shooting yourself with a fucking crossbow?
Nope.
Like, not that I could imagine shooting myself with anything else, but a fucking crossbow.
Nerf gun, I can do that.
They left wills to presumably to ensure their motives were clear. Investigators suspect they were all members of a kind of sex circle with a focus on middle ages.
A sex shop that teaches
Weiss
jousting.
may have been the guru of the group.
That's like,
Dude, I could imagine what that looks like. Like the spread eagle woman, and you just run up with your penis as fast as you can.
Right? That's their fucking jousting.
Oh no!
But you have to gallop like a horse on the way there.
Yeah. I
That's
got
insane.
it. I've made it through the ring.
Wow.
So do you hold on to the imaginary reins, or do you hold on to your pole while you're riding your horse up there?
Man, I think you let it go because sometimes you break a pole on the way in.
Yeah.
So you got to take that
Gotta
chance.
double fist that pole.
Pascal's diet.
That's
All
horrible.
right.
One of the other two people they found at this chick's apartment who was also dead was only like a part of this shit for 4 to 6 weeks, and they managed to get her to be cool with dying for this weird sex cult. They do
Well,
backflip splits onto dongs.
There's a
I'm
sex
gonna have to read
Olympics
this up.
where they do backflip splits onto dongs. Perfect 10.
nice.
But yeah, so there's my news that I've been waiting to talk about since I read the article. I wanted to take over the weird and wacky news.
There you go, man. No,
Well, we're
I'm
glad you
good
did
with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just going to talk about Grumpy Cat being
5
dead.
guys, 1 crossbow.
Ugh. That might be even
Alright.
grosser.
Does anybody have anything else before we close it up for the night?
I was going to talk about the Fallout 76 adding a tax to the vending machines
Do tell.
to get rid of the inflation of caps. So apparently caps are just like where it's at. So now if you spend 100 caps at a vending machine, they take 10 of it. But people are already but people are already going, okay, well then just charge 110 caps.
Yeah, unless they actually put a physical limit on the amount of caps that are in the world in circulation, then it doesn't matter. You're just
I think they have done that, haven't they? Doesn't each character have a cap limit?
I think they have a cap limit, and they also have like I don't want to call it a tax, but I think there was also something else. If you bought something, like those caps went out of circulation. I guess
They
if it
need to
was maybe
hire-
from their vendor, maybe.
They need to get some consulting work done with like Blizzard or something and talk to their WoW economists and fix their shit.
Yeah. So I thought that was interesting that they had done that. It was a short article. I mean, it wasn't anything big, but it was pretty
that's
neat.
what she said.
Yeah, people were already finding a way around it. Like, okay, well then charge 110 caps for that, and we still have those 100 caps in circulation instead of 90.
Sense to me.
I think I had there was some John Wick in Fortnite. I guess you're going to be able to get his thing, and there's going to be a
It's a
bounty
new
board.
mode, right?
Yeah, bounty mode. I don't know how it works. I didn't read up on it. But if you like Fortnite, you could try it out and let us know. Since you guys
Tells me
always do
our-
your movie homework.
Something tells me our Fortnite audience isn't strong.
Yeah.
And on next podcast, we have Ninja here.
Yeah.
And what?
Make sure to be here.
And then the following, Dr. Disrespect.
Shit. Good God.
That's all I got.
All right, guys. Well, we're gonna wrap this up because I'm tired. I know Zach is tired, and we gotta get ready for Dr. Disrespect next week, apparently. So, thanks everybody for
Preparation age.
God. Thanks everybody for Astroglide.
Thank you guys. I didn't get any, but okay.
All right. Thanks, guys, for hanging out tonight. Thank you all for hanging out with me. If you want to help us out, give us a review on the iTunes. I promise this week I'll upload like 4 or 5 more episodes because I know I'm behind. Other than that, we're going to get out of here till, Tuesday, 10 p.m. next week, guys? Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yay.
I'll be at the Florida.
Oh, you'll be at the Florida. Killing people with crossbows. All right, guys. Well, it's been fun. We're going to bed. Everybody have a good night. Bye-bye.
Bye. Pew pew. Do you even pew pew, bro?